Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear learners. This is your English language instructor, Dr. Nurul Huda. I hope you all are doing great and enjoying the blessings of Allah. And I'm pretty sure that by now you have already done your bridging activity. And this time, your answers should match mine because these are the correct answers. And be careful with the spellings. And why we are doing this? Because today's SLO wants us to learn the rules for conversion of singular into plural. Yes, whenever we convert the singular into plural nouns, there are rules out there and we have to learn those rules. So today's SLO wants us to recognize and use irregular and regular nouns. Now this is what your focus look like, which clearly says that plural nouns are of two types, regular and irregular. Now let's learn them more deeper. So every plural noun is of two types, regular and irregular. Regular means there are rules which you have to follow, and irregular means there are no rules. You just have to learn those plural nouns by heart. Got it? So today we are going to learn 3 rules, and these rules says that whenever the noun ends with s, x, ch or sh, we have to add es at the end. For example, boss become bosses, tax become taxes, bush become bushes. And if the word ends with y, we replace the y with I and add es. That's why baby become babies, candy, candies, curry, curries. In all of these examples, we have replaced the y with the I and we have added es. Alright, and in most of the cases, we only add s. For example, plural of cat is cats, face is faces, and day is days. Now, let's look at this. So, what do you think is the correct answer? You have 2 options on your screen. Yes, the word with es. Why we have added es? Because bush ends with sh. Now, let's look at this example. What do you think is the right option? Yes, the word with es. Why we have added? Because dish ends with sh. Now, let's look at this example. I've told you that whenever you see y, you have to replace I with it. But this is not the correct option. This is the correct option. So, whenever you see a monkey, do not replace the y with I and add es, because by simply adding the s will make it plural. That's why I have added this slide to clear the confusion. Yes. Now let's look at this example. In this case, you have to replace y with the I and add es because this is the correct answer. Now, tell me what is the right option? Everybody knows it? Yes, cats. Got it? Now, there are certain other plural nouns which are called irregular because they do not follow any rule. You have to learn them by heart. For example, mouse into mice, goose, geese. If there is one louse, we call it louse. If there are lots of, we call them lice. One man and lots of men. One half and more than half. More than one. Got it? So these are irregular nouns because they do not follow any rules. We just have to learn them by heart. Now, to check your understanding, we have designed 2 formative activity. One is there in your book and the other one is there in your workbook. You have to go home and do the remaining homework. See you next time. Till then, bye-bye. Allah Hafiz.